So Claude is one of the people who connects people together and creating really successful networks. If you are thinking to develop yourself in a platform such as Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, for example, I think Claude is the right person because he knows how to put people together and make it work.
And change your life. You know, do you ever see those things?
Yes, yes,
Do you ever click on it? Do you ever enter the stuff and click out of curiosity?
I mean, I think I used to until I know it's just all clickbait and then you don't, right?
Clickbait. Yeah, it's clickbait. Okay, all right, you know clickbait.
Yeah.
Tripwire, and all that.
Yeah.
Right, so you know what's coming next. I'm like that, so I'm always clicking on stuff. Oh, you got to give them something like that. Okay. So then, because I'd already got all these things, I knew the words. It was like, I can show you the secrets to strong contact networking so that you can finally make some money from all your networking activities, because people were going all over the place and like, how was it last night? Oh yeah, bloody Kissing Frogs game, that one, I met about 10 people, no work come off it though, no work come out of it though, you know, and every time you always had that. Meanwhile, in those days I had about 5 or 6 networking groups, mostly in 5-star hotels. With lawyers, 10-partner firm, accounting firm, real VIP kind of people, and they would pass work to each other. I'd get paid because they joined my network, and it was, you know, with nice people in a nice surrounding, you know. So I knew a bit about networking, and plus as a member of a group, I also made quite a bit of money. So I was an authority to actually speak about the subject. So when I said, look, I'll, especially if they'd been to my events, I said, look, I'll give you the 5 secrets or whatever for free. All I need is your name and email address. Just opt in here, and then if you like it, please write a testimonial. If it's any good, because I got, look at this. I did a pre-release, so I did offer them something for free to start off with. But this is this guy Stuart Buchanan. He's arguably one of the best networkers around, more than willing to share his expertise. I'm looking forward to Claude's eagerly awaited ebook, Kissing Frogs: The Whole Truth, and so should you. So I gave him the first 5 secrets or the first 10 secrets or whatever. And then I released the whole book. Here's another one. This guy actually bought the book, Simon Carlin. I'm now on his mailing list and strongly recommend you purchase his excellent Kissing Frogs ebook. Money truly well spent. Now think about this, guys. You've still got those human beings, as I told you, like in the picture. The best that you can hope for is serving human beings, helping them to fix their pain, and then getting them to leave you a really good comment for everybody else that comes after them, because it shows that you are the real McCoy. That's about building trust and rapport on a forum. It doesn't matter which forum you do it on, the principle is exactly the same. Now, if you're that kind of a human being, you will do really, really well. It's not about the latest trick. It's about doing the basics, doing it well, and then multiplying it. Kate, you said about Amazon. Why do you trust Amazon?
Well, I guess I've used them many times and they've always been efficient.
Okay, 1. Do you read the reviews? You don't read the reviews. Okay, that's interesting. But how did you first start? When you bought your first book, why did you trust them when you bought your first book?
They're a very big company, lots of people were using them.
Yeah, it's a word by mouth because indirectly advertise TV and network, you know. Amazon is in the mouth or is in the top of everybody that uses like that buy online. The first thing you think buy online is Amazon or
Alibaba.
Alibaba is new, but before it was Amazon and then it was the other one? eBay.
Hey. So it's a brand and there's trust, yeah? So what do you think I was doing? I was doing what Amazon was doing on a very small scale. So I was actually building trust on a forum. And because there were, what's the population of Seychelles? 100,000 people or somewhere near 90. Academy, I think in those days had about 150,000 people. It's a bloody website. I'm on a Facebook group with 150,000 people in a group. So that's how you've got your big market. And I'm building a brand and I'm building trust. and people are saying good things about me. These are some of the testimonials that I've got in the past from Academy. If you have a look on the date, that's 2008. That's like 3 years ago. Okay. I found the teleseminar with Claude Bonté very useful for practical ideas about how to get started in the development of an internet business. The combination of focus and creative advice along with the personal accountability works for me. Okay, so there you are. Again, Sean McCluskey, probably the best I've met. He's got a deep understanding of marketing and sales techniques that can really help your business. That was, 2008. So I've been in this game for a long time. Irene Cooper here, she just really talks about how I helped her to increase her networking and sales skills. I was gracious with my time and coached her whenever she needed help. Now, those are the testimonials, guys, that you want to strive for. Because if you can get testimonials like that, even people that has never met you before, one thing they can say is, okay, this guy works hard for a bunch of people. And people will at some stage, when you offer them some products, they know that you're not just kind of offering them products to earn affiliate commissions, that you've really got their best interests at heart. So in that book, in that Kissing Frogs, and one thing, if you guys come on the program and things, I'll give you the book and you can read it for yourself. But so in that PDF document was gold if you know how to use it, yeah. And that's why I asked all of you people what your expertise was, how much you know about it. Do you see? So you've all got something. You would be like me, yeah. What I will tell you today, it's a lot easier for you today than it was for me back then. Because 10 years ago, video wasn't where it is today. Bandwidth wasn't where it was today. So you wrote a PDF, but you didn't really have a feel for me. You read my stuff. Today, I'm going to take you, Ronnie. If I was to, I've got a video camera up here. If I was to put my video on here and I was to say, Ronnie, tell me about spice. How long do you think you could speak for on spice?
6.
As much as I can.
By 6 would be over.
As much memory as it's got on the phone.
I promise you.
I don't have the monopoly over the knowledge of spices, but I certainly know quite a lot.
Not the 7%, for sure.
Okay. Kate, what does it take to be a published author? Everyone wants to write a book.
Tenacity, discipline, imagination, creativity, and hope.
Okay. Could you coach anybody to write a book?
No.
You can't, right. Why not?
Well, can I coach anybody to be a wonderful networker, to be able to talk like you can talk? I can probably talk, and some of us can talk. You go up and you naturally can have a conversation and draw things out of people. Of course, that was my job. I interviewed famous people for 30 years.
Wow. And
did big profiles on them. But you can't teach somebody how to write who doesn't have the gift of writing. These days, what's happened is that photographers and journalists and authors have a much harder time because a lot of people who thought they couldn't write at all have discovered they can write because they write every day on the internet. They write emails to people and they've discovered it's easier than they thought. But it still doesn't make them great writers. There are great writers and there are entertaining writers and so forth and so on. You can, and I have on the television. There's a great friend of mine and she wanted to write. And in fact, I was taken to lunch by the editor of the Daily Express and asked if I would write a book on Princess Diana, real Diana. I'd already written a series of 5 parts, and I said I didn't want to do it.
Right.
Because you can't do it without making half of this up. It wasn't my stuff. She said, I'll do it. She's now absolutely famous. She's just done the book on Harry and Meghan. But she couldn't write. She brought her first ever to me and I said, this is dreadful.
Good morning, guys. How are you all? My name is Rashid Musme. Small entrepreneur, starting going up in the business world. Actually, I came to one of the class of Mr. Claude Bonté, which was a week ago. It was on a Saturday. So I came for the introduction class because I was at a point that my business was not doing so well and I didn't know anything about the online marketing. So prior to that, I was in touch with Mr. Bonté because he was trying to invite me, pitching me in for his program. So I said, okay, might as well come and increase the knowledge in something else. So actually when I came, the introduction class was very good. He was giving few techniques and he was talking about how to market yourself online. Basically everyone they think like marketing online, you just put a photo or videos on Facebook and that's it. But then he said something to the effect that the psychology behind it, that's the key, and the human interaction online also is the key. So I picked that up, I noted it down, and actually during the week I was in the process of helping a friend with his business also because his business was like down. He was pulling a sales of 75 rupees per day, and sometime like for 1 month only 2,500 rupees sale, which was barely enough, not even enough to cover the rent or anything, even the salary of the workers there. So actually what I noted down, I went in, I started doing what I've learned from the session with Mr. Bonté. And for the next couple of days, I've seen that the sales in the business was picking up from 2,500 rupees a month going to 1,070 rupees on my 7 days in the shop. And the next day it even went up to 3,075 rupees. Then on the third day it went to 8,000 rupees. And every people who come to the shop, they say, hey, we saw your things on Facebook and your interaction with us was good, and the way you put your product, the way you advertise the shop, and actually it was a pull for them to come to the shop. So the stuff that I learned from Mr. Bonté, if you know how to apply it, and if you know how to interact and the psychology behind marketing online on Facebook and the platform, whatever platform, virtual platform, if you know how to apply it, it really works. It does work. But the thing is, you must be a good listener. And Mr. Bonté has the charisma to teach you the stuff. So when you come to the class of Mr. Bonté, you don't challenge the teacher, you listen to the teacher because you know his stuff. And when you learn the stuff, you note it down, try to apply it, and always go back to Mr. Bonté to get some advice. And his advice is on point, and he knows his stuff. So I would advise those who are watching this video to actually come and give some time. Even in our busy time, like today for myself, I was busy. I said, yeah, well, I will give the testimony because it has actually worked. It's not a joke. You can see the difference in terms of your sale, in terms of the client that coming in, and people who are starting to have interaction with you now. You never expect them to have this kind of interaction at all. So if you know that stuff, you can apply it and it will work. So Mr. Bonté is the guy for you to learn this stuff from him here in session. And I will advise the people to come to the class of Mr. Bonté and learn this thing. Because we have to stop doing business with the Seychellois mindset. We need to break down this mindset. It's all about the mindset. Change the Seychellois mindset of doing business and do something new, at least for a start. Then we can see a difference. We can't stop. We cannot go on doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. It won't work. Let's do something different. And for me, for the past, like last month, I didn't know Mr. Bonté. Only a couple of interactions. Honestly, I'm saying this from my heart. I can see the change. So what if I carry on with this guy for another 6 months down the line? I might be good on marketing online. So thank you, guys. This is just coming from my heart, and I hope you give a response to the call. Thank you.